Hi, my name is Nicola and I am the author of The Fabulous Woman's Guide Through Cancer. It is my book's 4-month birthday. It was published 4 months ago today, and to kind of celebrate this special day in mine and my book's life, I had put messages on Facebook and Twitter asking if anybody had any questions for me about the book, writing the book, publishing, and that I was going to do a vlog. So here we are. Some of the questions were quite similar, so I'll just pick one of those. But the main question that I had, and that I kind of get asked all the time, is why did you write the book? I wrote The Fabulous Woman's Guide Through Cancer straight after I'd had bowel cancer and advanced bowel cancer. I had a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old when I was diagnosed, so it was obviously a very difficult time. I remember just really scouring, trying to find books, and at the time most of the books I could find were either very, very medical or memoirs, and neither really fell into kind of what I was looking for. I really wanted like the lifestyle kind of advice, like how do you explain cancer to a toddler, like what do you do when you can't go out as much as you want to, how, staying social, what to pack for hospital, all those kind of things, all the kind of lifestyle sort of elements that so often kind of get left out when people are talking about cancer. So I always knew that come the end of my treatment that, as long as I survived it, that's what I was going to do. I was going to, with all the information and all the resources and everything that I had gathered over my time, I was going to make sure that they were all available for other women. Caitlin asks, I am starting chemotherapy and I'm distressed about leaving my newborn baby. How did you cope? Well, firstly, I'm really sorry to hear that, but it's just a bit crap. Like, there is just no way around that. I found it really, really difficult as well, and I remember I would just be crying, so I'd be like, missed the first time she rolled over, I missed the first time she sat up. But I do remember my husband saying to me, like, when she grows up, she's not going to care whether or not you saw her roll over the first time. She's not going to care how much you were around when she was a baby. She's going to care about that, you're kind of there to see her grow up, and that, or at least know that you did everything that you could to try and beat this illness, to be there like with her as she grew up. And I just think that's so true. You kind of got to, with cancer, you're always having to put everything like back in the bigger picture, and remember what you're doing and why you're doing it. I've said this in a blog post somewhere before, but the bonds are built on more than time. I really, really strongly believe that. There's a lot of pressure that if you're not there when the baby's a newborn, you need to be there all the time to get this lovely, strong bond. I personally don't think that's true. I think, the fact that you're fighting for your life to be with your baby is going to create a stronger bond than any amount of time ever could. My daughter and I now, there's absolutely no difference in my bond with her, and if anything, it's better, because I fought for my life to be with her. So Anna asks, is there anything that you would add to the book? Yeah, there are some stuff actually. I would add information about going into early menopause, which I did because of my treatment. I didn't include it initially because not all types of cancer and not all types of treatment put you into early menopause, and I wanted to keep the book quite sort of accessible for every woman who is going through cancer. But on reflection, it's something I've been asked a lot about when I've sort of blogged about early menopause. It's something that I've had a massive response to, so I kind of wish that I had included that in the book now. The other big thing on feedback that I've had is friends and family really enjoying the book and really liking to kind of get a bit of an insight into what a loved one is going through, and probably do a sort of section for the friends and family specifically so that they can have a bit more of a guide on how they can help. Lily Ann asks, have you been published before? Yes, I have. Not a book. I've had articles published mainly on women's health for publications like Myostomy is probably the main one, the NCT magazines, GlaxoSmithKline's internal publications, my blog obviously, and a few sort of guest blogging posts, like I say, mainly about women's health. Even really when I've written for like mothers publications, they've still mainly been about the mum. Hopefully this book was more books will be on their way. Louise asks, what was the best thing and what was the worst thing about writing your book? I think they're kind of the same answer actually, because it is always quite cathartic sort of getting out your like you know, inner thoughts and kind of getting a chance to download everything that you've been thinking and feeling. But it can also be quite hard going, you know, especially when I was writing about having chemotherapy. I mean, I honestly felt like I was having chemotherapy at the time. You know, I could feel the burning in my arm, I could feel the sickness. It was just like being, you know, my headspace went so completely back to that point that it was just like being there. And that was quite hard, you know, and I remember kind of coming away from that almost crying and being like, oh, you know, I just can't kind of keep retelling this story. So yeah, bizarrely, I think it's been sort of the best thing and the worst thing. The absolute best thing definitely has to be like actually having the finished product like in my hands, like here it is, this is something I spent a really long time working on, and it's just so rewarding to kind of finally have it out there and be getting feedback from people telling me that it's useful. Like that's definitely been the best part about writing the book. Andrea asks, this kind of ties into what I just said, how long did it take you to write? I didn't write it, just sit down and write it all in one go. I initially started writing the book towards the end of my treatment. My treatment finished on the 24th of December, and I started writing, I think, at the beginning of December, just kind of, yeah, looking at the kind of information I had, the information that I wished I'd had, and just sort of started putting together ideas and sort of breaking down into chapters like what I would write about, and writing kind of little sections. So I always came to it with a really good idea of what I wanted to include. I would have sort of peaks of doing a lot of work on it, and then have a few, you know, months of doing nothing because there's other stuff happening. And then it really was towards the beginning of the summer that I was like, right, you know, I just kind of want to get this done now. I want to get it out there. I want to get it happening. And I want this book, you know, available and to start helping other women and stuff. So sort of at the beginning of the summer, I gave a real push. Sort of take all the little strands that I had and sort of pull them all together into a neat little bow, which hopefully I've done with the book. So I don't want to ramble on for too long, so I think that's enough for now. But if you do have any more questions, please do feel free to ask them, and then I think I'll do like another vlog like this. I'll leave all the links for those things below. If you're watching this on your phone, then you just need to press the little triangle to kind of get all that information underneath the video. And yeah, let me know what you think, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.